Tempo matters when you sell your home. We'll talk about that as well as zombie office time bomb in the commercial arena, and what else? List price reductions, which I haven't really even looked at, and today's highs and lows. Let's get moving. I'm going to make this so that you can actually see it. All right, tempo matters when you're selling your home. It's a huge thing. I don't know how many times in the last 20 years people have come to me and said, Vito, this is the price I need, and I won't sell unless I get this price. Well, your price doesn't matter because you as a seller don't determine the final sales price. It's important to understand that. It's important to understand that buyers will only pay for what they deem your house is worth. Period. It's not a dig on you. It's not a dig on your house. It's just that buyers understand the market. They're educated. They take the time to understand the market, and they look at your house compared to other houses that have sold around in that area. And if they can't justify why your house is worth what you're asking, let alone a little bit more, then you're set to be pissed off at your agent and in for a lot of disappointment. Now, I did a little bit of chunking here. Year to date, January 1 to July 30th, which is today, 2024, Santa Clara County single family home sales. If you look at it, I gave you a little bit of a visualization. I talked about this yesterday. I wanted to update these numbers, and what this does is I'll walk you through it real quick. Days on market and how many have closed in the last 7 months, the percent of that total, which is kind of erroneous, and then the list price to sales price ratio, which I went through, and that's why I'm doing this a little bit later than normal, because it took me a little bit of time to get these numbers for you. Okay, what you're going to see is off market. Now, if you ever ask me about off market, it's called members only. It's really coming soon. They put it on the market, and I don't think it's the smartest thing to do, because what you're doing is you're not exposing your house to the entire market. You're keeping it hush hush, and maybe you don't want people tromping through your house, but is that really a best benefit for you as a home seller? To me, it's not, unless you absolutely tell me, Vito, I don't want a lot of people going through my house. I want to make this an exclusive sale. I want this thing to be so. But I can tell you with a great deal of certainty that you're not getting the value you can out of exposing it to the market. Now, when you expose it to the market, you put it on the MLS, you do all the advertising, you send it out on all the social channels, and you have open houses, and you let buyers come through at different times when they can do it, and you make it, you expose it to the entire market. Now, let's say that there's 1,000 houses or 1,000 buyers that are looking for homes at this particular time. Well, there's only a certain set of those people that are looking for your price range, your bedroom count, with or without a pool, that kind of thing. So it narrows it down to maybe 5 or 10%. So really, you're looking at maybe 50 to 100 people looking at your house. And when the times are great, you can pretty much slap up any price you want. But at the same time, when the times are a little bit less crazy and firestormy, you have to be a little more careful about setting the price. Now, sellers set the price, agents, the listing agent helps determine that price, and you make a better determination of it. The buyers will come in and make a best guess on, is it worth what they're asking? And if so, do I like it enough? And within 15 seconds, 5 seconds, really, they're going to tell you, yes, I like this house, or no, I don't like this house. Whether it's the neighborhood, the curb appeal, the staging, what have you, right? So everything comes into play when it comes to selling your house. You want to have a nice neighborhood. You want to have a nice curb appeal. You want to have the house staged. You want to have every room with a purpose, whether it's a bedroom or a living room or a dining room or an office. You want it clean and everything, and you want to present it as well as much as possible. Now, when you list the house too high, you're saying my house is better than everyone else's house out here because I remodeled my kitchen back in the 90s and I only replaced 90% of the windows in my house because I ran out of money, or I don't have an air conditioning, or my pool needs to be completely refurbished, but I'm going to ask for a premium price. Well, you're going to be sorely mistaken and pissed off at your agent when your house doesn't sell. Now look at these numbers, right? A big, huge number of homes sell within the first 14 days. I like to get my house under contract, my listings under contract within 7 days. But typically when the market slows down, I let that slide because I want to expose it to a greater portion of the market. After 14 days, all the buyers in that group have seen your house, whether they've seen it on the MLS, they've gone through the house on an open house, or they've had a private showing or what have you, and they made a determination whether or not they want to buy that house. Those houses in the rear end, these ones right here, these 8, 12, 15, 17 and change, so just round it up to 18% of the houses are overpriced one way, shape, or form. And I can tell you that specifically because if you look at the list price to sales price ratio, which is very important, when you price it correctly, the house is going to sell, right? The house will sell. Now, off market, yeah, that's an erroneous number because you don't really know if that market, you haven't exposed it to the market, so you don't know what that house is worth. I think off market sales are a bad deal for sellers. I say that all the time. I'm not a big fan of it. I think it's just a greedy way for the listing agent to double end their listing so they can double up their commission. And I don't think it's worth anything to the seller. I don't think it's a good value. It's a great option for buyers and buyers agents if they can come in, and it's a great option for that office. So if I have, say, 5 offices, I work for one of the big franchises, I have 5 or 10 offices, I can spread it around and I keep it inside. I'm doing my best for my company. Am I doing the best for my seller? Do I have fiduciary duty to maximize the profit of my seller? I do. So when you look at this, understand that tempo matters. When you control the tempo, meaning you have the house listed below what you think it's going to sell for, you're attracting the market, you get a lot of offers, and you control the tempo, you control the variables, the price, the terms, the contingencies, the close, how long they can move in, or how long until they can have to move out. All these different little things that we have in our system that we make sure that we negotiate for you as your real estate agent. Now, these numbers don't look hugely dramatic, but they are when you look from 96 to 112. That's a huge number, especially when you're talking about $2 million on average for a home to sell, right? Understand that tempo matters. It's a huge deal, guys. And if you have more questions about it, if you think I'm full of crap or whatever, please do comment down below because I want to talk about this. I want to get this out in the air. And my job is to protect my client, the consumer, right? And educating you with these videos, that's how I do that. Now, zombie office. Remember, we're talking about the house of cards. I have to find it really quick because I have to restart the computer. Right there, the house of cards, right? We have the house of cards right here. And any one of these things could be coming. And I think it's either going to be the automotive market or the commercial market right now. I've been saying this for, I don't know, 6 years now, right? 2018, I said we're in for a doozy, and all of a sudden nothing happened. It kind of slowed down in 2018, but now we're at a point where I think we're grossly overvalued for a lot of things, for food, for gas, for rent, for commercial, for everything, right? Zombie office time bomb. How many people are working out of their house? How many people are working out of their office? Those offices are now becoming zombie, or they're dead space, right? They're not being utilized correctly. So some business owners are electing to get rid of them, get rid of some of their space, or go to temporary space, or go to a hybrid system, right? But that's hurting the commercial business. And I'm telling you this from many different angles, from apartments to commercial space to strip malls to everything. How many empty buildings, how many empty spaces do you see? You probably drive by 100 of them every day and you don't realize it. Put your eyeballs on these strip malls. Look at all these office buildings where their parking lots are completely empty. Well, somebody owns that and somebody has to pay rent. Somebody has to pay the loan on it. Somebody has to pay the utilities on it. Somebody has to pay all that stuff on it. And a lot of these are going to go underwater and then foreclosure. And I've been talking about that for the last 2 weeks. Commercial is one of the tipping points of the house of cards. Be very aware of what's going on. What can you do about it? Pull back some cash, get ready to buy some commercial property, and let's go. But be very careful about it, because when the market comes out, when the market crashes, all the investors come out. So just be aware of that. This one, home inspection checklist. Now that we're talking about tempo and selling your house and understanding the market, where we're going, home inspection checklist, it's important to understand what you're getting into and what you're going to present, because you don't want to sell a house as is with 100 different things that you have to fix. Fix up the little things, decide if you're going to look at the big things, and decide if you're going to put effort and repair into some of the big items on that checklist. Download this. It'll get you a head start for when you have a property inspector come through and look at your house. It'll make it cleaner. But of course, if you do fix it, disclose it. Okay. Price reductions in Santa Clara County. I'm going to pick, let's see, this one right here, Las Alameda Meadows. Which one is this? This one right here. Meridian Ave, list price decrease. Remember, guys, when you decrease the price, you're trying to attract the market. When you have a high listed price, original list price, like this one, you're trying to be a market maker. And when you're on a busy street, which this house looks like it's in beautiful shape, we'll go into that in a minute. But if you're on market 20 days and all of a sudden you go down $100,000, that's a huge signal to buyers saying, hey, I overpriced my house. Maybe I should look at it. Maybe I should look at lowering the price. Maybe I should have listened to my agent and lowered the price and attracted the market in the beginning, so we can get that tempo set. 20 days on market. 20 days on market is far too much. They're going to have to expect to see 103 instead of the 112. Well, Vito, if you told me to list it 5% under, well, there you go. We list 5% under where we think it's going to sell, and sometimes you're pleasantly surprised. Again, I'm not promising you what the sales price is going to be. I'm promising you that your house will get sold quickly if you listen to what I tell you. Okay? 4-bedroom, 3-bath. I'm sorry, 2.5 bath, 2,651 square feet. This is not my listing. This is 6240 Meridian Ave. Again, it's a busy street in Almaden, and I think it was overpriced. They should have had it priced at 2 or 2.1. It would have been sold already, and the seller would have been gleefully happy with the sales price. Gonna leave it at that. Okay, where is it? Tuesday's highs and lows. June 30th, we have 164 closes, which is a lot lower than it has been over the last couple months. Highest sold price is 11 million. The lowest sold price is 825,000, which isn't that bad. It sold for 114 over list price. This one right here was a market maker. They lost 4% on it, 4.5%. And these two we talked about last week. They're still on sale. Waverly and Loma Prieta. And then these two actives, we have 1,000 homes for sale right now. We need to have about 2,000 to make it a balanced market, but the market's kind of contracting right now. Price reductions, we have 198, which is almost 20%. That's telling you that the market is slowing down, right? So pricing your house is super important. That's all I'm going to tell you. That's all I can tell you. I'll give you the very best, only the best. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm Vito with Abitano. I'm going to do that again. Thanks for watching. I'm Vito with Abitano. We'll see you out there.